it is in slightly a reverse direction. The mind wants to go to Delhi. So he goes to Delhi to rob certain things. It is like that. So the mind travels towards this senses. And when it travels towards the senses, it takes a certain thing from there. Takes that little flavoring which is offered over there. Now, in the eyes, if there is, let us say, you have tasted kheer, with your eyes you have seen, with your mouth you have tasted, you have smelt it with your nose, and your mother has said, "Come and eat kheer." So you have gone and tasted it. All the five senses are working. What does the mind do? It goes to the eyes and says, nice color, let me take some of it. From the nose it says, nice smell, I will take it with me. To the ears it goes and says, mom is calling for soap. It takes it inside, analyzes it, and throws out a reaction. The reaction is coming in the form of a mouth starts watering. Okay, he's making your other parts of the body move, like the hands, legs, so on and so forth. So the reactions have completed, and then you go and pick up one katora of kheer, and then you want to partake of it. You want to take it and eat it. Now, when you do that type of a thing, the mind is fully involved in the process. Okay, what has happened is the mind has gone to these objects, different, the eyes and the nose and the ears, and have absorbed things from there, has taken a certain things, and हम लोग ऐसे करते हैं, ऐसे हाथ चलो अब खाएंगे, something like that. So you will find that the mind is doing this, is gloating over it, is gleefully in trying to enjoy the whole. So the mind is now attracted to different senses, sense objects, so on and so forth. But when we go into the spiritual, the mind is not moving towards the senses. It is getting drawn inwards. It is as if earlier it was going outwards and now it is drawn inwards. Inwards towards the divine consciousness, or what we call as the self. Okay? And this is what he says, with mind attached to me. The attachment has to be inward. And ye jo jod hai, that means this particular attraction can be very loose. It is like, a child is playing with his toys and suddenly mummy says, come take your chocolate. He will drop all the toys at that moment and run after the chocolate. Correct? And then dad says, yeah, your mom is offering just one piece. I will offer you one whole piece. And the child says, mom is giving me very little. I'll go to the dad. It is like that. It is getting attracted. It is so much attracted towards the outer worldly stuff that it wants to run from here to there to there to there. And the greedier it is, the more it wants to get into it. So the more the desires, the more is the running after things. And this is what happens. So he says, when it is attached to me, you have to continuously practice this attachment. मतलब हमेशा, अभी आपने देखा रहेगा, whenever you have seen, your chappal or your shoe, breaks or comes off, you put a little Fevicol or something and then you go out, and you find that when you have gone out sometime, थोड़ा वापस टूट जाता है. वापस हम लोग है ना घर आके उसको कुछ और चिटकाने का कोशिश, फिर वापस टूटता है. And it keeps on happening on a continuous basis. It keeps on breaking. And we get very frustrated. Finally, we say, we need something which is going to make it permanently stick over there. Now, this kind of permanent Feviquick, or maybe, putting a nail through it and hammering it so hard that it's going to get stuck for a very long time. Now this is what is called practicing yoga with resolute dependence on me. Now you have to understand that Krishna is like a magnet, a bigger magnet, and your mind is like a smaller magnet. So the divine consciousness inside, you have to make this magnet come and stick to you. Correct? Now think about it, what has happened. In most of the cases, the desire becomes bigger than Krishna. So the magnet gets drawn outside to the other bigger magnets outside. The bigger the desire, the Krishna magnet becomes smaller. So naturally the pull of the other one is going to be bigger, isn't it? So that is the reason why he keeps on shuttling up, down, up, down, up, down, and literally forming a type of a motion. And there is a continuous motion over there. Then what happens? He says, at such point in time, you have to give me this dependency. That means what? He is telling, please think I am the greatest magnet in the world. And kindly give me that. He's imploring you, actually he's telling you very nicely and imploring also. Why? Because he says, why are you running after all these desires of yours? Can you not make me the greatest desire of yours? You understand, in most of our movies you will find that there are two girls, and there is one who is very beautiful looking, and then one who is that Garbhuti type, very typically household type of a person. And the hero, there was this movie called Teen Deviyan in the past. Okay. Now in this movie called Teen Deviyan, Devanand is the hero. Okay. On one side, Devanand is the hero, and he has this heroine who is like, keeps on crying all the time. Her name is Nanda. Okay. And she used to take care of him, jidhar jayega khane ko ye. And then he meets a beautiful heroine. Okay, on one side. And this heroine is, if I am not mistaken, Kalpana, isn't it? And then he meets another heroine. And I think that was Simi Grewal. I've forgotten who this other person was. I think it is Simi Grewal. And the attraction, the power of attraction to the second one, Kalpana, is very high. Okay, now I know you will wonder, he ऐसा कैसा नाम लेता है? Now you think about it. Mind has the power of imagination. It imagines beautiful things. Kalpana means imagination. The mind, Devanand, is very much interested in this goody stuff. So he keeps on imagining with this heroine different scenes. And he runs after her. Finally, there is a problem there. Then he runs after this rich lady. Her name is Simi, I think. So, greed, okay? Greed and lust, everything. He runs after all these things. Finally, what happens is, there is a person, a magician, whom he meets. Okay? Now he meets a magician because he's completely confused. There are three Devyas in his life. One is Nanda, who is continuously crying. One is Kalpana, who is attracting him because of her beauty and all. And the third one, Simi, who is very rich woman. So here the two things in our world, lust and greed, are attracting us outside towards the material. So you meet the magician, and the magician then, he has a crystal ball. By the way, if you ever get to see the movie, you should watch it, because it's a wonderful film. And till that time, he meets this crystal ball person. His world is black and white. So the film was shot in black and white. And then he meets this magician. And when he meets this magician, he has got a crystal ball. And he says, we will see what happens in the future by just, projecting it. And the magician projects his future with these three women. Okay? So the kalpana, the person whom he was attracted to, that is lust. So the moment he gets attracted, he sees it's a complete disaster. How she makes him feel that she has to be given more and more and more and more and more attention. He is not able to. And then greed, the next person, he sees the greed becomes so great that there is no way of getting out of it. So finally, he sees with the third girl whom is waiting for him. You know, she is waiting for him at home, hoping that someday he will come back to her. And he goes back to her. The magician in your world is called the Guru. He shows you this extra colorful picture, 70 picture about your future, how it can look. And then you have to go back to the one inside. So here Krishna is very clearly telling you something. He's telling you, see, the outer worldly attractions are going to be very strong. Please don't bother about them. They are anyway going to lead you to ruin. So can you come inside? Can you come inside to me? On one side, he is standing with a little cup of tea in hand and saying, देखो मैं तुमको सिर्फ ये चाय ऑफर कर सकता हूँ, दूसरा कुछ नहीं. Very simple thing, I am offering you love, that's it. It's a very simple love. It doesn't have, all those grand stuff over there, like all those greed and lust is offering. मेरे पास कुछ नहीं है. I am a poor man. I do not have anything to offer to you except love. And this mind is, I don't know, I have to run after all the material worldly stuff. So he says, now please understand, have this dependence on me. Understand that it is this little chai ka cup is not just a small thing that I am offering. I am actually offering you my love in this. So you please come to me. It is, remember, whatever that you are doing in the world outside, even then you are dependent on me. And here, please give me your power of attorney. Give it to me so that I can handle it. So he is telling you that you can now depend on me, because only when you have complete dependence on me I can take charge of you. You will know me. Then only you will know me. तुम आके मेरी चाय पियो और मेरे साथ रहो तो तुमको मैं मेरा सब कुछ अर्पण कर दूंगा. See, this is what the real essence of how devotion gets developed. Devotion is an aspect which happens to every individual. In the previous line, in the previous verse, he says, if you see this particular place, he says, in the last line, 47 line, he says, he who devotedly worships me. Okay? That means, मैं चाय का प्याला लेके खड़ा हूं और तुम मुझे है ना वो तुम्हारी है ना, you know how the puppies they look. I want that type of a look in your eyes. You have to give me that kind of a devotion. Puppies, they are very sweet creatures. If you have ever had dogs in your house, you will find, the puppy will give you such, wonderful look. Oh my God, you get completely melted. So, he says that is devotion. That is the devotion that I need. You will know me. Who am I? I am the greatest. I am the repository of everything. I don't want to go into brackets. In entirety and without any shadow of doubt. What does it mean? Yesterday somebody asked me the question, conviction. I was telling about there should be no doubt. Correct? So here he is trying to tell you very nicely again, do not bear even that little doubt in mind. क्या सिर्फ चाय ही देने वाला है तू मेरे को, खाने पीने को नहीं देगा? we are used to the desires outside, isn't it? All the desires outside we are used to. बोला गाड़ी मांगता है, बोला मारुति 800 नहीं चलेगा, नो 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 नो, अरे इनोवा मिलेगा क्या? अच्छा नहीं 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 नहीं, करोला मिलेगा क्या? नहीं नहीं, अपने को तो उससे बड़ा गाड़ी मिलता है। लेक्सस मिलेगा क्या? ले कर लो बात, लेक्सस मांगता है तुमको। और अपना जो मुंह जबड़ा खुलता है ना, तभी बड़ा 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 खुलता है, एंड इट कीप्स ऑन ग्रोइंग। A few days back, I was watching a program on one of the channels. In the United States, in the city of Atlanta, there is one guy who sells burgers. And the burger is so thick it is. It is having so many fillings in it. And I was really wondering, ये लोग कैसा खा सकते हैं? And the people are holding it like, how they are going, my God. इतना बड़ा बर्गर, वो जगहेड भी इतना बड़ा बर्गर खाता है कि नहीं मालूम नहीं, जगहेड जोन्स, आर्ची कॉमिक्स वाला। तो इट वाज लाइक दैट, एंड आई वाज वंडरिंग हाउ कैन पीपल हैव इतना बड़ा जबड़ा, किधर से आता है? जबड़ा बोलेगा तो, और माउथ, वी ओपन और माउथ सो वाइड, दिस इज हाउ ग्रीड इज। सो द बिगर, सो अगेन ही इज ऑफरिंग यू ओनली अ कप ऑफ टी। उसको जाके बोला, बिस्किट नहीं है क्या? हाँ, ये नहीं है क्या? वो नहीं है क्या? लो, खाली चाय ऑफर करता है, सुक्का सुक्का। नो, हैव फेथ, वो तेरे को चाय भी देगा, बिस्किट भी देगा, बाद में खाना भी देगा। इतना ही देगा जितना तुम्हारे पेट में तुम डाल सकते हो, ज्यादा नहीं। वो तुम्हारा एक्सटेंडेड वर्जन नहीं है। ओके, इट्स लाइक द न्यू एप्स, जैसे वर्जन 1, वर्जन 1.1, 1.2, वर्जन 3, वर्जन 4, पता नहीं कितने वर्जन आते रहते हैं, एंड एवरी टाइम इट्स अ बग फिक्स एंड दिस एंड दैट। ओके, अभी अभी विंडोज का कौन सा 8 चल रहा है, और पता नहीं 8.1 आएगा, 8.2 आएगा, उसके बाद 9 आएगा, 10 आएगा, लाइक इट्स गोइंग ऑन एंड ऑन एंड ऑन। ओके, इट इज जस्ट लाइक मिशन इम्पॉसिबल 4। मिशन इम्पॉसिबल 1 हो गया, 2 हो गया, 3 हो गया, और रॉकी, I think Rocky must be 20th or 21st or something like that, no? And still Sylvester Stallone is going strong. So here the idea is, no, he's not going to offer you, he's only going to offer you that much with which satisfaction is the greatest. मतलब तुम्हारी भूख मिटाने के लिए उतना ही देगा, उससे ज्यादा वो नहीं देता. So do not go with any expectation to him. Okay? The desires in the outside world, they can give you fantastic stuff, not him. So he says, in entirety, without any shadow of doubt, I shall unfold to you in the entirety this wisdom, a knowledge of God in his absolute formless aspect, along with the knowledge of qualified aspect of God, having known which nothing else remains to be known in this world. So he says, now, after this, once you have decided, your mind is going to latch on inside to me. I am going to show you what this world inside is. And what is this world? Entirety, this wisdom. This wisdom means this particular knowledge that is there. I am going to impart to you, I am going to tell you about what is it that you are actually looking at. You are looking at something, your mind is looking at something. So what is this that you are looking at? Along with the knowledge of the qualified aspect of God. What are the qualifications? You see, we always qualify something. Apple, we say it's red in color. It is sweet to taste. All these things are qualifiers, isn't it? You understand what I'm saying? See, even an orange or see a bird in the tree, the bird is, it's a yellow bird, it's a yellow colored bird, it has got this color beak. We describe it, isn't it? These are descriptive factors associating with. Now again, if I ask you to describe the person whom you can see in the computer, okay, there are so many faces. Now every other person will definitely say, oh, this is a man, this is a woman. That's the basic factor we start with. And then I can give you a whole list, an entire book of descriptions. Some of it are going to be good and some of it are going to be, I don't want to hear that. So please understand, we are a whole host of things which we are nothing but descriptive factors. So human beings and any other thing in this world which is a manifest item, a tree, a bird, an animal, a human being, we have so many descriptive factors. And then once we go from the physical descriptive factors to the mental ones, the mental ones are the worst types. They are dependent on lot of factors again. How conducive, the likes, the dislikes, all those other things are the descriptive factors which are qualitative in nature. So he is going to now say what are the qualified aspects of God. In both kinds, that is, one is with form and one is formless. Having known, nothing needs to be known. Now, once you know this, then there is nothing that you need to know about God himself. That is all the knowledge that you require in this material world. Hardly one among thousands of men strives to realize me. Of those striving yogis, again, some rare ones devoting himself exclusively to me knows me in reality. Yesterday we were doing how many people are actually looking at this kind of a yoga. And my answer to you was, well, hardly anybody. 0.001% bhi raha, you should be, it's a great thing. So in this world, which is full of, I think, 7 billion people, if there are 7 people over there, or let us say 7,000, in 7 billion, if there are 7,000 people, it is a very, very great thing. Okay? Now, he says, in those 7,000, there may be only 7 who might be interested in knowing you. So what are you saying? That means the 7,000 people, they don't know you. You say, yeah, that's exactly what I'm trying to tell you. They have reached the level of Brahma. They have become God realized. The 7,000 people have reached. Okay, they have reached their destination. So, out of them, just a few, very few, 7 of them only these people, hardly one among thousands of men, strive to realize me. Of those striving yogis, yogi means union with God, correct? Yoga, correct? Now, in the previous chapter, we had come to a point where people get realized, okay? So now we have come to a point of 7,000 people getting realized. It's just a rough figure, doesn't mean that there are really 7,000 people. So in that 7,000, one amongst the 1,000, in those 7,000, one amongst them means 7 may into multiplied by 7 is 7,000, 7 people. So 7 people may strive to realize. Now the 7 people are actually trying to understand me, devoting himself exclusively to me. Only when devotion is there can he realize me. Please understand, when you are in Brahma, Brahma means
Self.
Unmanifest divinity. Remember, when you are merging in the unmanifest, you also have to become unmanifest, right? So that means earlier on you were a bottle of Coke, and now when you were merged in the unmanifest, you have become purified water, H2O. No impurities in you. After you become H2O, you have merged with the H2O of this universe. That is unmanifest. So H2O into H2O, where is your Astitva then? Where are you in that H2O? Nowhere. You have disappeared. So when you have merged inside this unmanifest divinity called Brahma, become a Brahmagyani, you are dissolved forever. In that, there are at least these 7 people who are saying, no, I don't want to get dissolved. this Brahma. I want to understand who is the maker of this Brahma. Somebody must have made this Brahma, isn't it? So I need to find that out. So here he says, of those striving yogis, some rare ones, devoting himself exclusively to me, they are wanting to know me alone. That is Krishna himself knows me in reality. They only can know me in reality. Now we are going backwards slightly. Earth, water, fire, air, ether, mind, reason, and also ego. These constitute my nature divided into 8 parts. Okay, that means the first 5 are called the Panchabhutas. If you see, they are the Panchabhutas. Then mind, reason, and ego. They are the balance 3. All these put together, they are my 8 parts. Whose 8 parts? Krishna is now describing himself. They are my 8 parts. Alright? This indeed is my lower or material nature. These are the constituent factors for creating something in the universe. I have to use the material elements only, isn't it? See, when I want to make potato sabji, I have to use potatoes. Correct? So that is the material that I have to use. Correct? Right? So can I use something else? No. Potatoes के साथ ही potatoes use कर सकते हैं ना बनाने के लिए potato sabji. Here also he says these are the basic things, 8 things that I require in the material world to create my material world. The other than this, by which the whole universe is sustained, know it to be my higher nature in the form of Jiva, the life principle of Arjuna. Now, if I put all these 8 ingredients together, it is lifeless. It doesn't have any life. Now, a child may be born without a life. You know that. The child can be dead, stillborn. So that means even after all these 8 ingredients coming together, the person may not be alive. So he says, the remaining part of the universe that is there in this individual is called Jiva. That is my divine nature. The previous one is called the material nature. So on the one side, we are using the material ingredients. Correct? And then I am going to blow my life into that one. This blowing of life into that one makes it a jiva, alive. Correct? This much understood? So, other than this, by which the whole universe is sustained, that which keeps the universe running. Alright? Now if you ask me, you are saying that there are Panchabhutas, plus you said there is, what other things are there? Reason, mind, reason and ego. You mean to say even the trees have a mind, even they have an ego? Or the earth has a mind, earth has an ego? Or the sun has a mind and the sun has an ego? Yes and no. Do you remember we were describing the various bodies? In the various bodies, the mind body which has got the imprint of all the karmas, when you have transformed into some other creature, the human being becomes some other creature, like a dog, or it becomes a planet, it is only dissipating karma. Dissipating, using up. Right? This is what I said. When as a human being you are even accepting karma, that means you are adding to it. If I am dissipating, that means the program is set already. See, we have already come with the set program of dissipation. अब खर्चा करना ही है, करना ही है, करना ही है, करना ही है. So what happens to that? The mind doesn't work over there. Mind is sleeping. The ego is only driving you towards dissipation of the. And where is the question of reason? There is no reason. A tiger doesn't need a reason to kill another. Correct? His job is only to kill. So he is just dissipating the karma. So he is basically not doing anything beyond this. Understood? So in the material nature, all these 8 qualities are there, and that which makes it run, something, even in the sun's job it is doing. What is the sun's job? Of giving energy to us. It is continuously giving energy. Is it doing anything else besides that? No. Is it using its ego? Yes, it is burning up, isn't it? It's burning. And then what is it doing? Who is it that makes him burn? Who is it that is keeping him throbbing like that? That thing which is keeping him doing all those is the jiva. That is my divine nature. Understood? This is what is the life principle, or which my higher self is there. Arjuna, know that all beings are evolved from the twofold Prakriti, and that I am the source of this entire creation, and into me again it disappears. Alright? Everything that is there in this universe has come from the unmanifest. So from the unmanifest comes the manifest. This manifest is our material manifest that we can see. Manifest means anything that you can see, touch, hold, so on and so forth, smell, taste and all that. With your senses you can feel it, isn't it? Can you see it? You can see the sun, you can see the moon. These are manifest world. All these manifest world are available to us with our senses. Correct? So anything that has to do with the senses and your mind understanding it with its own reasoning power and the ego, all this put together, everything put together, which is understood by us, is called the manifest world. Alright? This manifest world is the domain of Prakriti. Prakriti is the mother of all these things. She creates. Her job is creation. She creates, mixing the elements. Earth में ये डाला, उसमें वो डाला, you know, she keeps on कूट के सब है ना बनाती है वो. अलग अलग चीजें. इसमें है ना ज्यादा एयर डालती है, तो he has a lot of gas. My first joke of the day. So some people have a lot of hot air in them because there's a lot of air being put by Prakriti inside them. So here, if you see, Prakriti is having this one-fold nature of creating the manifest universe. And what does it do after that? After the work is over, after it is finished, the use is there finished, then it draws into the unmanifest world. Everything is sucked back into the unmanifest. That means all the elements are disappearing. They disappear. They finish off. Okay? Where they go, we have no clue. And this place where it goes is called the unmanifest. So he says, my Prakriti, which is of a twofold nature, extrusion and absorption, बाहर फेंकती है और अंदर खींचती है. ये दोनों टाइप का नेचर है उसके पास. Alright? So one is the creative and one is the destructive. Both the things are there in her. That she creates this entire creation and makes it disappear. There is nothing else besides me, Arjuna. Like cluster of yarn beads formed by knots on a thread, all this is threaded on me. Please understand, whether it is the manifest or the unmanifest, all these things are on me only. So you may look at it. So I want to know, remember those 7 people? They want to know who I am. They are looking at not only the beads, but they are looking at the thread as well. Okay? Sutra और सूत्रधार दोनों चीज. He knows that the beads are inside, inside that there is a running thread. It is keeping it holding. What is it that holds this manifest world and the unmanifest world is me alone. So where does this world rest? The manifest goes into the unmanifest and the unmanifest goes into me. Understand? I am the master of all these things. In this line he is explaining to you, Arjuna, I am the sap in water and the radiance of the moon and the sun. I am the sacred syllable Om in all the Vedas, the sound in ether and the manliness in men. All these things which he is talking about are descriptive elements for us silly, stupid people to understand. See, we do not have fantastic, supreme consciousness minds and all those, So how he can person who is full of ignorance? So he's just trying to give some description which will give us an understanding of what he is talking about. So far whatever I spoke, most of it would have been a bouncer. अभी एक बॉल जरूर खेलना चाहिए, तो मैं ना वो टप्पा बॉल डालता हूँ. In school we had this guy who would come bowling. I don't know, those who have played cricket, there is always somebody who will come and give one fast ball. ये zoom करके वो अपने को ऐसा डक करना पड़ता है ऊपर से गया. हाँ, there is this shorty person called Sunil Gavaskar, and all these West Indies bowlers were there. Those West Indies bowlers will go one big dumb ball like this. And because he was hardly 4 feet something or 5 feet whatever, the ball used to go on top of his head, zoom. He never could play the ball. Actually he was trying to avoid it, otherwise it would hit his head or something. But then he was called the little master. So he would take the bat and with the bat he would go dum like that. So 4 runs, 6 and all that he would play. Same as Sachin Tendulkar. You look at his size. He's a shorty fellow, very small chap. But he was able to play. Now whatever Krishna gave, all those were googlies and एकदम बाउंसर गया सब. तो अभी बाउंसर गया तो अभी खेलने के लिए बॉल तो डालना मांगता है. तो ही इज गिविंग वेरी सिंपल एक्सप्लेनेशंस. अच्छा मैं अभी धीरे से डालता हूँ, अभी खेलो ना तुम. So he says, for your understanding, let me give you some examples. So what am I? So who is this person that we are talking about? I am the sap in water. The tree gets the food from the water from below and it sucks up, isn't it, to the leaves, and that is called the sap. The radiance of the moon. The moon gives us that coolness, isn't it? When we look at the moon, we feel, oh my God, nice moon. And you get the little satisfaction of yours. It's the radiance in the moon. Or the full moon day. Wow, the moon is so beautiful, we say. Or the radiance in the sun. When you are in cold place, you love the sun the most. बोलेगा कि अभी साला sun आएगा पता नहीं. And you don't know, you are so much looking forward to the summer. And the people, those who are living in these hot places in India, when can I see winter? Winter. We are always like that. So those who are looking at the sun, they can understand the radiance of the sun, the sweetness of the sun when it is nice and warm. Now those who are staying in the US definitely enjoy the sun because it's so cold. You see the whole point. So there is the sun. I am the sacred syllable Om in all the Vedas. The Vedas are strung word by word, word by word, word by word. So that which keeps these things in a pulsating state, giving you the answers of all these things, is the word called Om. You see, when we start something, we say Om something, isn't it? Om. How do you say? Om Namah Shivaya, isn't it? We don't say Hey Namah Shivaya. ऐसा करके नहीं बोलते. ओम नमः शिवाय बोलते हैं वैसे ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय. It is the starting syllable. Basically, it contains the entire essence. So Om, that which makes these Vedas string together. The sound in ether. Remember, even in the Bible it is written, first the sound was heard. Okay? So the ether में sound. अभी तुम सोचोगे यार it is technically impossible. How can anybody hear sound in the ether? देखो तुमको मैं एक साउंड की बात बताता हूँ, अजीब बात. When you are very small, okay, before you woke up, your ear would hear the sound. Mummy is making sweets. Ping. And then you would say, I am getting up now. And suddenly you would come running to the kitchen to see, mummy is really making sweet. Yeah, yippee. And then you are going, gaga. That is attraction. Okay, please understand. Now, another story. गर्लफ्रेंड का फोन आने का है. अरे फोन का घंटी बजने के पहले तेरे दिमाग में घंटी बजती है. You understand what I'm saying? Before the phone rings over there, your ghantis are going ding 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 ding. You have heard the sound before it has heard. So this is how sound travels in the ether, we say. It is an unheard sound. The sound, unheard sound, is the sound that is heard in your heart. That is why it is called the Anhata Chakra. Unheard sound. Do you get this? Before it is outside, it is already inside, ringing, ting, 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 ting. Ghanti baj rahi hai. Okay, one more example. If you are a girl and you don't have a boyfriend, or if you are a boy and you don't have a girlfriend. Okay, I'll tell you unheard sound. School तो गए होंगे. हाँ. अरे बाबा, वो तुम्हारा रिसेस का घंटी बजने का पहला तुम्हारे दिमाग में घंटी बजती है, मालूम है? अभी बजेगा, अभी बजेगा, अभी बजेगा. टीचर का यार बोरिंग लेक्चर चालू है इसका. बोरिंग यार. आई डोंट लाइक दिस. अभी घंटी बजेगा. And before it is over there, it's already ringing in your heart, and then you are so gleeful about it. अच्छा हो गया, class end. तो टीचर बोलती है, sit down, I am taking 5 more minutes. Your 5 more minutes were the worst minutes of your life, because you will say 5 minutes में हम लोग का पूरा वेकेशन के लिए वो होमवर्क देने वाली है. And then, like a villain, she will tell you, turn to chapter 20. I want you to do the first 10 sums in the chapter 20. 21 chapter. Please write it down. 21 chapter. Sum number 5 to sum number 20. By the time the 5 minutes are up, she has given 500 sums. And we are supposed to do them in the vacation. What vacation? 500 sums she has given me. And you would like to murder her over there. Have you not gone through this? And this is the unheard sound. Before it is there ringing outside, it's already rung in you. It's exactly like this. The divine consciousness communicates to you through this unheard sound. Before the arrival of Krishna, the sound is the most sweetest of all. I know it is those who are the devotees of Krishna will understand what I am saying. Just the thought, oh my God, he's coming. Oh my God, I'm going to meet him, is the sweetest sound. It is anartha. It's unheard. And this unheard sound is called the Omkara. I am the pure odor. Okay, and the manliness in men. I am the pure odor in the earth and the brightest in fire. What is the odor in the earth? It comes just before the monsoon. Before the, during that first ray, the first, it comes at that point in time. The sweetness of that smell you cannot even describe. I am that pure odor and the brightness in fire. How is the brightness in fire? The fire is there. It's bright, it's lighting up the whole thing, isn't it? The sun doesn't come for many days, it's darkness all over the place. But when the sun comes out, doesn't it brighten up the whole place? This brightness is me. I am the life in all beings and the austerity in men of ascetics. The life in me we already discussed in the first line. He says, without me you can't be alive, isn't it? So I am the life in you. And then he says, now remember those 7 people? Yes. And remember those 7,000 people? Yes. That asceticism, that which keeps them locked into this divine, is me alone. Arjuna, know me, the eternal seed of all beings. I am the intellect, intelligence of the intellect, and the glory of the glorious am I. In this line, he is telling you something very subtly. In the intellect, there is a divine intellect, I told you. The one which draws you inside, not the one which draws you outside. This divine intellect is me. Don't ever forget this. I am that divine intellect. The intelligence of the intellect. What is the intelligence? That which tells me exactly, मैंने सही decision लेना है कि नहीं. You know, we have this decisive capacity. That which tells you. If you go back to this line once again, he will tell you that I am made up of reason. You see, in line number 4, 5, he says mind, next word is called reason, and then it is ego. That which gives you the reasoning capacity. That which gives you the reasoning capacity. And that is the intelligence in the intellect. Isn't it the intelligence which tells us, देखो अभी हाथ नहीं डालने का गैस के ऊपर, नहीं तो जल जाएगा. Isn't it? It's telling you something. It's telling you something nicely. So that is what which describes to you, ये होना है, ये वो होना है. हाँ, yes, Padma. So, Arjuna, know me. Okay, where am I? Okay. The intelligence of the intellect, the eternal seed of all beings. Everything started from me, remember. So I am the seed. Yesterday I told you the story between this, that tree which came out of that seed. That man who says, the chamar, the shoemaker, he says, isn't it? God is passing the elephant through the needle. I did this story. And he says, God is great because he has put the tree and the future generations of trees inside one tiny seed. So this seed that is there is me only. The intelligence of the intellect and the glory of the glorious. Glorious people are there. Uska jo glory hai, wo main hu. Arjuna, of the mighty I am the might. Free from passion and desire. In beings I am the sexual desire, not conflicting with virtue or scriptural injunctions. Now what does he say? Those who are mighty people, those who are having a might, the kings, the presidents, the prime ministers, all these are mighty people, are they not? So that might in them, that which makes them strong and powerful, I am that might in them. But it should be free from passion or desire. If you are having a might which is always bothering about मेरे Swiss account में कितना पैसा जाना चाहिए, then that is not me. Okay. Now please understand, these are certain descriptive things about Krishna. Why is he telling you? So that you get an understanding. See, I told you it is for an ignorant mind. So considering that all of us are ignorant over here, he is just describing what it is. A very simple understanding. So here he is telling you the might of the mightiest. But do not mix it up with passion and greed. Because all these people are basically, even the great politicians and all, they are, what are they doing? They have greed. I want more, I want more, I want power, I want power, I want greed. So much of money that they are looking at. He says, if they are into that, I am not with them. Alright? Devoid of. free from passion and desire. And in beings, I am the sexual desire. In every human being, there is a sexual desire. The desire for creating future generation. The sexual desire has been basically in every human being meant for the purpose of creating future generations, but not conflicting with virtue or scriptural injunctions. Virtue, people have to be virtuous, and the scriptural injunctions are there. What are the scriptural injunctions? You see, the 10 commandments are there. Those are called scriptures. They are scriptural injunctions, the do's and the don'ts in the world. He says, accept those in the do's and the don'ts in the world. I am not in that. Whatever other entities there are, born of sattva, quality of goodness, and those born of rajas and tamas, know them as evolved from me alone. In reality, however, neither do I exist in them, nor do they exist in me. This is a very important verse that gives one understanding. Now, remember when we were doing the Tattva Bodh, we said there is a mixing of elements with the 3 gunas. The 3 gunas are sattva, rajas and tamas. Right? So when these elements were mixing around, sattva, rajas and tamas, even in this Bhagavad Gita, I was doing this very little portion of it about the sattva, rajas and tamas to give you an understanding about that. So everything that is coming from sattva or rajas or tamas, everything comes from me alone. Okay? So I am the master designer of this universe. It is based on my methods and methodologies. Now we come to the next line where he says, in reality, however, neither do I exist in them, nor do they in me. In the previous lines, he said, as if strung on a bead. That means they are in me. And in this line, there is a big confusion. He says, they are not in me. Doesn't it sound very funny? It is confusing because on one side, he says, I am in you. And in the other side, he says, I am not in you. I'll give you very, very simple examples. Try to understand as much as you can. Okay? There is a master architect. Alright? Now this master architect designs a certain thing. Now there is this Eiffel Tower or the Statue of Liberty. The master designer of this statue has designed this statue. Correct? Now I want you to think about it. Is he actually there in the statue? No. Correct? He is not there in the statue. Neither is there in the Eiffel Tower. Okay? Charles Correa was an architect who designed Navi Mumbai. Do you think he is in Navi Mumbai when he designed or something like that? No. Physically he is not there at all. But his essence is there in the form of his architecture or no? Correct. So I am the master architect of this universe. Everything is drawn as per my plan. Everything works as per my plan. Do you get what I am saying? This whole universe in clockwork precision works as per my plan. Now you have an iPhone or an iPad or an iMac. Now you may say, this belongs to the company. I mean, this was made by the company called Apple. Apple founded by Steve Jobs. Now, isn't it his dream or his vision that has made the product in your hand? So if you are having an iPhone in your hand, it contains the essence of Steve Jobs, isn't it? This is the simple explanation. So do you think Steve Jobs is some Siri inside that? Keeps on talking to you? No, no. Siri always talks very funny stuff to you. You ask him who your parents are, and he is going to give you some funny answer from somewhere. So it's the same thing. No, God is not inside the way you look at it. Alright? So that what does it mean as far as this line is concerned? I am the thread on which this whole thing has been set up. I am the master planner. I am the framework on which this whole building is standing. Got it? So the universe has been made as per my plan. The entire working of this universe is as per my plan. It is following a grand plan. And if I am the master architect and the grand planner, isn't everything actually performing the way it is supposed to? So, some confusion which people have is, God is the doer in my world. This is what everybody says. मेरे से जो होता है, मतलब मैं जो करता हूँ वो भगवान करता है, is what people say. Isn't it? You will say everything happens in the world because of God. ऐसा करके हम लोग बोलते हैं और बोलते हैं मेरे दुनिया में जो गलत हुआ वो तेरी वजह से, मेरे दुनिया में गलत मतलब मुझे फेल करा दिया गया, वो तूने मेरे को फेल किया. This is what we say or no? Every time it is actually a blame game, as I say. You know, we are blaming the Lord for every misfortune in our world. But for every fortune in our world, we are taking the glory on ourselves. I wrote my paper well, that's why I got good marks. और अगर फेल हो गए, God, why did you fail me in this examination? So God is the one who makes failures. If you have passed, then it's your glory. Both are not there in your hands. Okay? So we say everything, the divine, the devout will say, God is the doer. And here Krishna is saying, मैं कुछ नहीं करता है. I am not there in it. Then what are you talking? I am there in it. So it's a big confusing statement. So that's the reason why I'm taking more time on this. Let us try to understand what he is trying to say. One simple example which I always give is somebody has written the Indian Penal Code or the Constitution of the United States. Somebody has written it down. Constitution is something that needs to be followed, or the Indian Penal Code that needs to be followed. In the Indian Penal Code, some person some 100 years ago or more than that has written that if somebody does something like this, then they are supposed to get this type of a punishment. So it is written that those who kill someone can go to jail for 14 years or a lifetime, or can be hanged or put, this is what is the answer over there. So this is the basic thing that is written, and we follow the letter of the law, exactly where Constitution is written. Constitution, it is written freedom of speech. Now I can have freedom of speech in whichever way I want. So I can stand in front of the parliament and can give galis to the president. And then you will say that is freedom of speech. But what actually has happened is the police will catch you and put you in jail. Oh, so you think there is a freedom of speech and you can talk whatever you feel like. So it is written on the framework, on a particular framework. The laws have been written. The person wrote the law, or say Indian Constitution were written by Baba Sahib Ambedkar with his other people around. They wrote it and they are all dead by now, isn't it? So does it mean to say that the Constitution becomes invalid when they die? No. We follow the book, isn't it? So basically the Vedas and the Shastras in our past were nothing but a framework on which this whole universe has been told to perform. And as per the uniform performance that we are supposed to give, it is also written in that book which says about the karma. It says every action has an equal and opposite reaction. What you give is what you will get back. Okay, all these are basic laws that have been written. So as per the law of karma, you have been performing karmas all your life. So as per the law of karma, you are supposed to get it back, isn't it? So your prarabdha, that means your current karma, is written by you only in the past. You did something bad at that point in time. Are you not supposed to suffer now? Of course. So your prarabdha is written by you alone, by your own performance, based on the framework. Got it? If you have understood, at least nod. This much is understood. You are performing a certain action. That action that is being performed by you is your own karma. Right? That means you have taken, बाहर जाके तुमने गोला खाया, आगे जाके सर्दी होने वाली है, समझ में आया? ठंडे पानी से नहाने के बाद वहां पे सर्दी होगी. Action and reaction. वैसे ही, suppose you have killed somebody in some life of yours. As per the framework, what is the framework saying? That person has to kill you. So as per the laws written by the Lord billions and gazillions years ago, he is supposed to kill you. And if it is written in your karma this time, in this life of yours, that he is going to kill you, you are anyway going to die. So now you think about it, where is Krishna involved in all these things? He is not. You understand? He is nowhere involved in this process at all. The processes got written long ago. The recipe book was written long ago. The recipe book was written by your grandmother. Okay? Is the grandmother there when you are making that nice stuff just now? No. Then why are you saying grandmother? Hai karke. And that is the reason why Senthil has written something. I'm sorry. I'll come to your question in a minute. Sorry. My this thing doesn't go. So, now do you understand? Krishna has written these laws many, many years ago. Based on those universal laws, performances are set. Okay. 60% and above, first class. 75% and above, distinction. Between 45 and 60, you get second class. And between 45 and 35, you get third class. ये पहले से लिख के रखा है ना. अभी तुमको 45.5% मिला तो नेचुरली सेकंड क्लास में आ गया ना तुम. लेकिन 44.8 मिला, oh, I came in third class. It's written already. So you are going to come in third class. There is no choice for you. So do you understand? This is basic framework has been written down by the Lord himself many years ago. So why are you blaming him just now? कि तू सब करता है मेरे life में. Everything that you are doing or is happening to you is happening because of your past karmas. Got it? And the choice is there that you can either rectify it now or you can make further karma. That is again as per the framework. तुमने ये किया तो ये मिलेगा, वो किया तो वो मिलेगा, लिख के रखा है ऑलरेडी पहले से. So come whatever may, we are going to follow the framework only. And the framework has been written by him millions of years ago, or zillions, God knows. So then, this is the reason why he says, I exist, however, neither do I exist in them, nor do they in me. As per my law, everything is as if put on a framework. Got it? Little explanation which I gave so much, I think you understand. The whole of this creation is deluded by these objects evolved from the three modes of Prakriti. Sattva, Rajas and Tamas. That is why the world fails to recognize me, standing apart from these and imperishable. Now what happens? Just now I said some words that you are following a guideline or a framework, correct? There is something which I said in the previous line. I said everything is as per the gunas, sattva, rajas and tamas, right? Now, I said to you also, you create karmas. This also I said just now, 1 minute ago, right? You are either dissipating your past karma in the form of prarabdha if you are using up, or the future karmas are getting done, they are adding to you. How do they happen? The judgment is based on your tendency or that particular. If you are sattvic in nature, you are going to do something. If you are rajasic in nature, you are going to do something. And if you are tamasic in nature, you are going to do something else. Okay, so what is it that drives you to this decision making for future karmas, agami? Got it? Understand what I am trying to say? See, all that you have come with, you are supposed to use up. That is called prarabdha karma. Alright? All that you are supposed to do in the future is your new karma, which is called agami karma. Correct? How is the decision that is going to get taken by you? Now you have got, like I told you, किसी के पैंट में से 100 रुपया गिरा. So what is it that you are going to do? In Christianity, they call it the free will. You have the free will of taking the decision. So what are you going to do now? This is based on the three qualities: sattva, rajas and tamas. The sattva will make you do good. मतलब वो नोट उठा के तुम उस आदमी को वापस कर दो. Got it? Rajas will make you keep the note in your pocket. मेरे को मिल गया पैसा. And you will keep the note in your pocket. And tamas will say, मेरे को क्या करने का है, जाने देना. I don't have the energy to go and lift or tell that fellow also. And you will just walk away from there because of laziness or inertia. Got it? So I just gave a very stupid example, but I think it gives you an answer. So the decision that you are going to take is based on your nature. Is sattvic in nature, rajasic in nature or tamasic in nature. They are going to decide what your future actions are going to be. And all three are karmas. Okay? If you say to the hell with this guy, I don't care a damn, yaar, paisa udhar pada hai, isko to bhi le lega wo. Tamasic in nature. Okay? The money has fallen and you have become completely callous towards it. Remember, a time will come when money will fall from your pocket and the world is going to be callous towards you also. It's a return gift to you. Rajasic. You have taken the money from, वो देखा उसने देखा नहीं है और immediately खीसे में डाल दिया अपना नोट. Rajasic in nature. Someday in life you will have to become Rajasic and the return will come in the form of तुम्हारे खीसे में से नोट गिरेगा और वो आदमी खीसे में रख देगा and तुमको मालूम भी नहीं पड़ेगा. Sattvic in nature. You return the note to him and saying ये तुम्हारा नोट गिरा था. Someday from your pocket some note is going to fall and that person will be behind you and say to you, देखो तुम्हारा 100 रुपए का नोट गिरा, ये ले लो. Do you understand these three examples? It's a simple way of understanding. I mean, I don't want to complicate your minds. So I think this simple 100 रुपए का नोट का example is good enough. Karma works in a bigger framework than this. ये तो एक simple example बोला. It works in a much bigger universe and an atmosphere. it is magnified a gazillion times. So let us not get into it. Simple example should suffice. And in this case, none of these three, Sattva, Rajas and Tamas, those who have taken the decision of Tamas, those who have taken the decision of Rajas, and those who have taken the decision of Sattva, do not see me in anything at all. Why? There is a performance of an action going on over there, isn't it? It is as per my framework. I have written the framework. So these three are performing it exactly as per my framework. So where do you think I am there in that? I am not there in that, but I am going to watch what these people are doing. So it is under my domain that all these things are happening. And I am just going to keep a watch on these people. We'll end at 15. Okay. For this most wonderful Maya or the veil of mind, consisting of the three gunas, is extremely difficult to break through. Those, however, who constantly adore me alone are able to cross it. Yesterday I told you there isn't a single person who can do this. For a yogi of that kind, it is the most impossible thing to crack the code of Maya. I said these words to you yesterday. So for anything and everybody who is following whichever path that they are following, Maya, my engulfing power, that which is full of illusion, that which makes things happen, the Sattva, Rajas and the Tamas, the three actions that were happening because of my Maya. I have made them do, my framework is making them do. It's the rule book which says a sattvic person will do this, a rajasic person will do this, a tamasic person will do this. This is as per my framework. And who is it that makes the things work like this? It is my Maya. Maya is that little enticing thing, you know. Come on, pick up the note. Come on, pick up the note. Come on, pick up the note. He's telling the rajasic person. To the tamasic person, don't pick up the note. Why you want to do all this? Don't pick up the note. To the sattvic person listening, return the note to him. Give it to him. Give it to him. Poor fellow, he may be needing it. All these three are nothing but delusive powers actually. My power of illusion which deludes all the three. It makes the first person, sattvic person, think, I have done a good act. मैंने कितना अच्छा कृत्य किया. Poor fellow, you know. He was going to lose his 100 rupees, so I picked it up and I gave it to him. A rajasic fellow, one who has kept the note in his pocket, such a person will say, आज चांदी है, आज मजा आ गया, 100 rupees मिला मेरे को फुकट में. This is Maya working over there, enticement. She's, you know, hook, nail and वो बोलते हैं ना, hook, line and sinker. वो तुमको ऐसा पकड़ के रखती है कि पता ही नहीं चलता. And then Maya is telling you, you are anyway a lazy person. क्या करने का है 100 रुपया, तो पड़े रहने दे, अपने को टाइम नहीं है वो सब करने का. और वैसे भी जाली नोट रहेगा, उसके पीछे क्यों जानेगा, जाने दे, तू तेरा काम कर, वो गया खड्डे में. And you walk away from there. This is again illusion. It's telling you कि boss, इससे कोई होने वाला नहीं. All the three, whether it is a sattvic, whether it is rajasic or whether it is tamasic, my illusion works. I'll just see what Senthil has written. What makes the God realized yogi still ignore the presence of Krishna? I answered that question just now. Maya. Maya makes a person believe you have reached the state of realization. You are the greatest of the yogis. Maya is very nicely singing this lullaby to this person. And this person says, yes, of course, I should be lost in the Brahma. I am the great Brahmanyani. And this Brahmanyani, poor fellow, is getting, I am dissolving, I am dissolving, I am dissolving. And poor guy gets dissolved in it. Please understand, even for the yogi, I have told you this. Whether it is a yogi or a dhobi does not matter. Maya is constantly working. धोबी वो पछाड़ के मारती है, ढबाडब ढबाडब ढबाडब, और योगी को बराबर घुमा के रहती है अपनी छोटी उंगली के ऊपर। और योगी को बोलती है तेरे जैसा दुनिया में इंटेलिजेंट कोई नहीं है, तू बहुत इंटेलिजेंट है, तू मेरे तक पहुंचा कि नहीं, देख भगवान तक पहुंचा, तू तो रियलाइज हो गया, बहुत रियलाइजेशन तक पहुंचा है बॉस। I told you the various stages of realization. Okay, you got what I said? In the various stages of realization, once you are a realized person, I will put one patiya over here. Swami Realization Ananda. Acha. Father of Saraswati. ले बाप का माल लगता है। I mean, he has become the super intelligent person who is the father of Saraswati. अपने आप को ब्रह्मा जी समझते हैं, इसीलिए तो एक सिर काट के रख दिया। समझ में आया? So the thing is, this realized being has got, he doesn't realize that there is something which is making him think he is realized. I have reached the state of Brahma. I don't need to go anywhere now. I am the great and the mighty Wizard of Oz. Hello? Ho gaya? So now you understand these 7,000 people, they cannot reach Krishna because of this reason. To reach Krishna, the passport requires two things. Okay. It needs to be the passport of devotion with a rubber stamp of love. तो आगे जा सकता है, नहीं तो नहीं। मतलब वीजा मांगता है तो जा सकता है ना अंदर। लव एंड डिवोशन का रहेगा ना तो यू कैन एंटर दैट प्लेस, अदरवाइज इल्ला, नो एंट्री, डिसेंट्री। So it is like that. Love and devotion, then you can enter. All right.
Humility.
Humility, you see, I can go to the United States consulate and say, sir, please give me a US visa, sir. I am the most humble person. He will look at you, no, sir, I will not give you, sir. ऐसा करके वो बोल के मेरे को भगा सकता है. He can become more humble than me. Because at the end of the day, I am still not qualifying for it. If I am qualifying for it, he is going to give me. Otherwise, he is not going to give me. The qualification factors are 4. We described them. You know, every now and then, this is the same thing we keep on describing. Okay, you have to have 100% faith in him. Faith in the Lord. Okay. इस दुनिया में ऐसी कोई भी चीज नहीं है जो वो नहीं कर सकता. So having this complete faith in the Lord is essential. So these 7 people who can pass through the customs and the US, वो है, ये 4 चीज का रहना बहुत जरूरी है. Single pointed devotion. Okay. Then unconditional love. और बचा क्या? Complete surrender. These 4 words, never forget these 4 words. Now tell me, those remaining 7,000 people जो थे, वो तो I have reached realization. Okay. I have done all the qualifications. Any which way, मेरा stamp तो आएगा, मेरा passport तो आएगा, और वहां से rejection आता है, डम करके बोला, get out from here, don't want you. Why? You are not qualified, sir. But just now I thought I did all the qualifications. I am slippery like the Parabrahma. I can go anywhere. See, Parabrahma is everywhere. Krishna looks at him, sorry sir, Parabrahma is not in my GB. वो लोग वृंदावना में इल्ला, no allowed. और अब ब्रह्म वीर ब्रह्म बाहर, इधर नहीं अलाउड है। उसका बाप मैं बैठा हूं, समझा? और मैं बोलूं तो अंदर आ सकते हो, नहीं बोलूं तो गए भाड़ में। तो बोलते तुमने अगर परब्रह्म का रबर स्टाम्प भी लेके आया रहेगा तो भी नो एंट्री, समझे? So this is the speciality of Krishna. Krishna is very clear. He says you might have dissolved in the Parabrahma, so what is the big deal? So that is the reason why no entry. Okay, so we were doing 14, na? Only those or these most wonderful Maya. He says most wonderful. बोला मेरी माया बहुत अच्छी दिखती है, माया मैम साहब। टैक्सी चलाता हूं मैं, मालूम है? हाँ, I don't know whether you know this, but there was a movie.
It's a Govinda's movie.
Yes, it was not Govinda's movie.
Shahrukh's movie.
Allah, वो that fellow.
नाना पाटेकर।
अमिताभ बच्चन का बेटा, उसका नाम क्या? अभिषेक बच्चन का बेटा था। धागे तोड़ना चांदनी से नूर के।
बंटी और बबली।
No, that is Zoom Barabar Zoom.
Correct. In that, Govinda is a taxi driver, and he is driving a taxi whose name is Maya Darling. He takes that foreigner, no? So, अच्छा ठीक है, आप लोगों ने नहीं देखा तो मैं कुछ नहीं कर सकता हूँ, माया डार्लिंग उसमें है। तो गोविंदा बोले तो कृष्णा, और उसकी जो टैक्सी है उसका नाम है माया डार्लिंग। समझ में आया? उसकी वो प्यारी टैक्सी है जिसका नाम है माया डार्लिंग। और माया डार्लिंग में तुमको घुमाता है, पूरा ऑल इंडिया घुमाएगा तेरे को।
भाव दैट मूवी सलामे इश्क, नॉट माया।
हाँ, सलामे इश्क।
बोलना, that is Abhishek Bachchan. Govinda's is
सलामे इश्क।
सलामे, सॉरी, मतलब तुम लोगों को मालूम है, मैंने तो देखा भी नहीं है पिक्चर।
छेड़ा तो आपने।
हाँ, वैसे ही समझो ना, गोविंदा चलाता है ना गाड़ी। मेरे को गोविंदा से मतलब है और माया डार्लिंग से मतलब है। पिक्चर का नाम भी याद नहीं है। The problem which happens with me is, मतलब मेरा जो वहां पे पीए जो है ना, पर्सनल असिस्टेंट जो है ना, वो इतना कंफ्यूजिंग है। बोलता है ये योगा में जा रहा है कि वो योगा में जा रहा है, मालूम नहीं सर, जाके तो आओ ना। बोला किधर तो भी है ना तुम्हारा माया डार्लिंग को मैं डाल देता हूँ। हाँ, कभी कभी पिक्चर में डाल देता है, क्या करेगा? तो वो कौन से पिक्चर में डालता है मालूम नहीं। कभी कभी वो लास्ट सेंचुरी में, कभी 19th सेंचुरी, कभी 16th सेंचुरी में, अलग अलग टाइप का है ना वहां पे हुलिया बना के। सो कमिंग बैक टू दिस, सो गोविंदा इज ड्राइविंग दिस कार कॉल्ड माया डार्लिंग। एम्बेसडर गाड़ी रहता है वो, कभी चलती है कभी नहीं चलती। उसको प्यार से बात करेगा तो वो जरूर चलती है, और प्यार से नहीं बात किया ना, चलती है कि नहीं, तो माया डार्लिंग बोलेंगे मैं नहीं चलूंगी, जा तू क्या करेगा। So Govinda says, that is Krishna says, for this my most wonderful Maya of mine, it consists of 3 gunas. It's extremely difficult to break through. Though, however, those who constantly adore me alone are able to cross it. जो मेरे साथ प्यार से व्यवहार करते हैं, those who are very conducive to me and talking nicely to me, now Padma humility comes. मेरे टैक्सी में बैठने के पहले, तेरी टैक्सी जाती है क्या इधर? तो मैं खाली देख के बोले नहीं जाती, जा तू क्या करेगा। अपने बैंगलोर के जो रिक्शा वाले बोलते हैं ना, सर जयनगर नहीं, एंड यू विल आस्क हिम लंदन जाने का है क्या तेरे को? So we are like that. So कृष्णा का टैक्सी में बैठने का है तो सबसे पहले है ना, बोले कहाँ जा रहे हो? आप ही के घर जा रहा हूँ, लेके जाते हैं क्या? अच्छा, फीस लेके आया क्या? पासपोर्ट लाया क्या? लव एंड डिवोशन का, तो मैं अंदर बैठने को देता हूँ। तो माया डार्लिंग के अंदर बैठ के तुम जा सकते हो, नहीं तो नहीं, नॉट अलाउड, डिस अलाउड। So it is like that. So this Maya is a concoction of Krishna himself. And we keep on getting trapped into this continuously. पता ही नहीं चलता कृष्णा है कि माया है कि कृष्णा है. वो माया दिखती रहती है. मतलब टैक्सी गई, ए कृष्णा गया, सॉरी दैट इज माया गोइंग.
This is where practice of sadhana comes, or sadhana comes. This is where sadhana plays a role.
या साधना को सीटी बजा के रुकाना पड़ता है. रुक टैक्सी ऐसा करके. So, so here the idea is, see, you have to practice it properly. You know, there was this movie where वो हीरो खड़ा रहता है, बोलते देखो मैं ना कैसे रुकाता हूँ, गाड़ी देख लेना. And he goes like this, and he tries to stop, and he doesn't
दिल है
stop.
कि मानता नहीं.
और ये लड़की जाके ऐसा करती है तो गाड़ी रुकती है. तो ये चक्कर है हमारे लाइफ का. बोले तू जाके ज्यादा होशियारी करके बोलता है कि मैं इधर स्टॉप कर सकता हूँ. मतलब इन द साधना, दोज हु हैव दिस, you know, they do the japa all the time. They are counting beads. Okay, and you ask them, how much counting did you do? Today I did 16 rounds, you know. अच्छा तूने काउंट किया? मतलब तू जपा पे किधर ध्यान दे रहा था? तू तो काउंटिंग में लगा था. 1 2 3 4 5 6 करके 108 107 106 105 104 ये चालू है तेरा गधे. यू आर नॉट सेइंग ओम नमः शिवाय ओम नमः शिवाय ओम. वो थोड़ी तू कर रहा है. तू तो काउंट कर रहा है 1 2 3 4. क्या फायदा तेरा? So sadhana of this kind will never pay. So you may do 1 million or 1 billion of those type of japas, इधर पहुंचने वाले नहीं है. साधना प्यार से करनी चाहिए, मन लगा के करनी चाहिए, एकाग्रता से करनी चाहिए. You have to be completely in it. So after 5 minutes, after you are sitting in a yogasan, Padmasan, you will say, I can't sit like this. Padma doesn't have a son. बोला मेरे को पद्मासन में बैठने को नहीं आता है. ऐसा क्यों बोलता है यार? कितना दुखता है मालूम है? That is not called sadhana. You should be able to sit like that for hours at a stretch. No problem. So sadhana is when your mind is into it. It's not called sadhana at all. No. Mind in the Lord and then doing what is necessary is called sadhana. Got it? So even if you say japa 10 times does not matter. Mind in the Lord, you are saying japa without your knowledge. You got it? That means गाना चालू है, तुम डांस कर रहे हो, तुमको मालूम ही नहीं तुम डांस कर रहे हो. You see this whole thing? Sometimes our feet start tapping tick 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 like that when we are listening to song. Actually you are not listening. Suddenly the words start tumbling from somewhere and your mind, you are tapping the song out. You see, this has happened without your knowledge. Automatically. This type of sadhana is required. Not motivated. There is no motivation in this. Logging to one network and you are doing something else. Automatically, ये साधना होगी तो तुम जा सकते हो. तो माया को रुकाने के लिए साधना करना बहुत जरूरी है. ह्यूमिलिटी से गाड़ी रुकती है, नहीं तो नहीं रुकती. समझे? So, the last line we'll do. Those whose wisdom has been carried away by Maya and who have embraced the demonic nature, such foolish and vile men of evil deeds, do not adore me. They love my Maya better than me. Okay? How do they do it? फेरारी की सवारी. वो फेरारी को एडमायर करते रहता है. बोला जो सवारी है लेके जाने वाला उसको एडमायर करने का नहीं. सो मेरी माया को एडमायर करते रहते हैं. कितना मस्त है. हाँ. They are basically looking at things. And my Maya is very beautiful. She attracts everybody. Everybody falls into her trap. They don't see me. Once they see my Maya, they can't see me at all. Simply. Why? In our material world, this is how it works. You see, एक बार है ना रबड़ी खाई ना, हाँ, तो बोला कितना मस्त था, और एक कटोरी मिलेगा क्या, और एक मिलेगा क्या? फिर उसके बाद है ना वही कटोरी जो है वो है ना टमरेल बन जाता है। टमरेल का मतलब मालूम है क्या? वो बन जाता है। वो यू हैव टू कीप ऑन गोइंग टू द लू कॉन्स्टेंटली द कटोरी and in that you see you can taste once little bit rabdi. Okay, माया के ट्रैप में नहीं जाने का मतलब कटोरी पे कटोरी नहीं खाने का, रबड़ी जो है उसको खाली टेस्ट करने का, बोलने का गॉड रब आपकी रबड़ी बहुत अच्छी है, गॉट इट? एडमायर द वन हु हैज मेड इट, नॉट द ऑब्जेक्ट। तो रब ने, रब मीन्स गॉड, गॉड हैज मेड दिस रबड़ी फॉर यू, माया फॉर यू। हाँ, तो वो रबड़ी को एडमायर करो, बोलो बहुत अच्छा है, एक स्पून बहुत हो गया, भगवान तुम्हारी माया मैंने देख ली, अब आई वॉन्ट टू मीट द मास्टर शेफ। समझे? तो मास्टर शेफ तक पहुंचना बहुत जरूरी है। अगर मास्टर शेफ तक पहुंचोगे तो तुम अपनी रबड़ी बना सकते हो, जितनी चाहिए उतनी, है ना? यू कैन कीप ऑन मेकिंग वॉट एवर यू विश टू। You know, we go to these fancy restaurants and we eat some very nice meal over there. And we get attracted towards that meal often. It reminds me of Mangalore Pearl. है ना? अपर्णा जाने का है? हाँ. But if you meet the master chef and he tells you, बोम्बिल ऐसा तलने का, I got the बोम्बिल recipe. Bombil means Bombay duck. It's a type of a fish. Okay, or you know sear fish. हाँ, वैसा ही कोई तो भी एक फिश है, लेकिन लंबा लंबा है। It is the stinkiest fish of all, by the way. If you eat the dried ones, no, you are not going to go anywhere near. And my mother, she has got a very beautiful habit. I used to get this dried bombil at home. Kalpana to leave home. The moment she leaves, she will go to the kitchen and start making bombil because उसका smell kitchen 4 hours रहता है. So problem है life में. तो bombil. If you know the master chef and if you know how to make it, then there is no need of going to Mangalore Pearl at all. You can have Mangalore Pearl in your own house, isn't it? So once you make friends with Maya, the master, the chef who made it, then you can meet the super boss also, isn't it? The one who owns that restaurant. ऐसा है, माया के साथ फ्रेंडशिप करना बहुत जरूरी है। उसको मस्त से मस्का लगा के अपने कटक कर देने का, उसको बाद में बोलने का, अच्छा बॉस अभी तेरे बॉस को जरा मिलाएगी क्या? और फिर बॉस को मिलने का, एक बार बॉस को मिलने का कितने माया भी तेरे साथ आएगी उसके बाद। एक ही माया का क्या जरूरी है, सब माया ही माया है, माया बजा। सो द थिंग इज, इन दिस लाइन ही इज टेलिंग यू, जिसकी मत मर गई है, समझे? मत मर गई है मतलब जिसका विजडम गया भाड़ में, दैट पर्सन गेट्स कैरिड अवे बाय माय माया। ऑलराइट, मैंने बोला एक व्हीकल लेना which is good enough for travels, which has got a nice boot, okay, which is good enough. I mean, what kind of a car would that be? A simple car with storage capacity. So 6 लाख में आती है, 7 में आती है, अच्छा, हाँ 7 में 8 में तो आई थिंक XYZ SX4 और क्या क्या ऑल दीज स्विफ्ट डिजायर आती है. नो नो नो, वी शुड गो फॉर अ करोला Altis. No, why go for Corolla Altis? I think we should go for Innova. Still costlier. No, no, no. Innova is not good enough. Then we should go for the next version. What is that? Range Rover. 25 lakhs. No, no. Why Range Rover? मतलब उससे अच्छी गाड़ी है. अपना ये जो है ना चलते ही रहता है, चलते ही रहता है. माया का ऐसा ही है चांस. वो चांस पे डांस करती है. वो बोलती है ऐसा था ये. अच्छा, this brochure is not good. This one is still better. This one is still better. See, last you are just paying 8 lakhs, no? You just need to pay 10 for the next one. See, you said yes for 10, no? You can definitely pay about 12 or 13, isn't it? So 12 or 13 में ये आती है. ऐसा करके वो 25 तक तुमको खींचा. बोला Range Rover is in 25. You can buy Range Rover, good car. If you can pay 25, sir, what is the problem? You can pay 35 also. अरे जहां पे मेरे को 6 लाख में ही तकलीफ हो रही थी, वो 35 तक पहुंचा है. और फिर वो बाद में वो 1 करोड़ के ऊपर भी पहुंच गया. बोला बॉस, अभी मेरे को कटोरी लेके जाना पड़ेगा, हाँ, गाना गाने के लिए. मेरे देश की धरती, बोला सोना उगले थोड़ा सा इतना डाल ले. मतलब जो तेरे पास सोना है वो थोड़ा सा इसमें डाल देना. नहीं होता है बस. So Maya is like this. You can get attracted to Maya and fall into the pit continuously. So there are these people, foolish people, who keep on getting more attraction, and Maya is like that. Maya बोलती है, why you want to buy 14 carat? 18 carat is better. 18 carat हो गया, बोला 20 अच्छा है. 20 अच्छा है तो 23 भी अच्छा है. 23 अच्छा है, 24 ले लेना. क्या फर्क क्या पड़ता है? You're getting additional discount, huh?
You buy only once, so buy the best.
हाँ, yeah. Buy the best 24 carats. And then when you go and go to the United States with that gold, he will look at you as if you have come from some other part of the world, from the moon. In the US, only 14 carat is okay. Melting charges for this will be equal to 14 carat gold value. तो फिर तुम लोग वही सोचोगे मेरा 10 कैरेट गया किधर. हाँ, तुम कैरेट की रट लगाते रहो. वो बोलता है तुम्हारा 10 कैरेट गया. I mean, he is going to give you 14 कैरेट का रेट. आपको समझ में आया? वो कितना भी वो प्योरिफाइड हो गया तो भी कोई फायदा नहीं. So, such foolish people of evil deeds do not adore me. They don't see me in Maya at all. They look at my Maya and get lost in the Maya. So, this is where we will end today. And is there any question?
Yeah, you gave that example of the note fallen and according to your guna, you act.
Yes.
What would a yogi do in that situation?
Yogi doesn't see the note. He sees Gandhiji on it. वो नोट दिखता नहीं उसको, पेपर भी नहीं समझता है उसको. You see, for a human being, it looks like a 100 rupee note. For a yogi, it only looks like God. He sees God in everything. So when he sees God in everything, there is no Maya acting over there. There is no gunas acting over there. So at that point in his world, if God tells him, pick me up, he will go and pick him up. And he is not even looking at the note. He is just picking it up because he sees God in it. And that God in it has told him, pick me up. Beyond that, there is no mind over there actually. In the same way, when he goes and gives it to that person, he is not at all interested in saying उसमें 100 रुपया था कि 1000 रुपया था कि क्या था. He just thinks it's some paper fallen from the pocket. And God in him says, see, the paper has fallen, just give it to him. He just gives it to him. His mind is detached from the senses. So he has no clue what it is also. See, in our world, we are always counting how much it is. In the yogi's world, he doesn't count at all. आया आया नहीं आया नहीं आया, वो भगवान ने दिया, उससे कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता है. So a yogi's reaction is exactly this way. In his world, he may just walk away from there. He may not have seen also. Or even if he sees, he just walks away from there. He is not observed. There's a difference between seen and observed, no? Seen is when it is seen by the eye. Observed is mind observes. So in his case, no mind only, so no question of observing. He's just seen it and gone away. So in his world, the connectivity is not there. So there is no motivation per se. So in his world, it is not 100 rupee note. It is God. Understood? Any more questions? No? So I shall take your leave and you have a very good day or a good evening. Alright? Take care.
Thank you.
Bye.